World War I is often known by the sobriquet the Great War catastrophic, conflict that reshaped the world. But what really provoked this war? Was it just a chain reaction following one assassination or something much more profound? Let's, in this video, dig out the real reason behind the World War I, going beyond the reasons provided in textbooks to as yet unknown forces that have continuously molded the world of geopolitics even until today. History books will bear witness that it all started with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914. He was shot by Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb nationalist, in Sarajevo. This was like many falls down a slippery slope, but was it really that cause? Not really. It was just a spark in an already inflammable situation. The two major alliances which ended the war in early 20th century Europe were known as Triple Alliance: Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy, and the Triple Entente: France, Russia, and Britain. Such alliances were supposed to balance power, but actually, they reflected the truth that war was much more probable than would have been expected without them. How so? As the war between two countries easily entangles the others. Think of dominoes. After one will fall, the rest do, too. By the late 19th and into the early 20th century, the European powers were very competitive in the search for colonies. Britain had the largest empire, but Germany was rising and did not like to be left out of the pot. This alone created tensions, especially in Africa and Asia. For example, the Moroccan crises of 1905 and 1911 almost dared Germany and France into war. Imperialist rivalries fueled the fire. Militarism was another giant element. Countries were developing huge armies and navies, thinking military might was the road to national greatness. Germany and Britain, in particular, were locked into a naval arms race. Military spending in Europe from 1900 to 1914 increased by 50%. This created an atmosphere of leaders who believed that war was inevitable and perhaps even desirable. The second factor was nationalism. Most of Europe wanted to achieve the setting up of nation-states along lines of shared language and culture. That came along with permanent struggle in the Balkans, as Slavic peoples also sought their independence from Austria-Hungary. Serbia promoted Slavic nationalism specifically that angered Austria-Hungary and put it on collision course. Economic competition too. Germany was fast industrializing, and quite soon, it began to pose a challenge to Britain, which was still the world's greatest. Economic power, trade disputes and economic rivalries raised the stakes. According to historians, economic competition created a practical necessity for war to be held over the disputes of markets and resources. Blaming Serbia and issuing an ultimatum of sorts in retaliation to the assassination, Austria-Hungary responded. Serbia partially rejected the ultimatum, declared war against Austria-Hungary. Russia was the ally of Serbia. They began mobilizing their troops. Germany declared war on Russia, since that was an ally to Austria-Hungary. France and Britain soon got inducted. In weeks, Europe was at war. But is that all? Other historians even argue that class conflicts and economic imbalance took part in this matter. For some elites, the war may be an avenue to divert the attention of the people from domestic problems. Others assign fault in systemic diplomatic issues. Leaders were so short-sighted since they would have perceived that this war will not last long. Could World War I have been prevented? Many believe that the war could have been avoided with better diplomacy and more open communication. For example, if Britain had warned Germany that it would protect Belgium, the Germans could have avoided invading Belgium. But the failure to communicate clearly and the rigidity of the alliance system made war nearly inevitable. There was no single incident that led to World War I. Rather, it resulted from Decades of war-prone tensions, rivalries, and unfounded miscalculations. It gives out a remarkable lesson. When countries focus on rivalries rather than cooperation, even small incidents can become a global disaster. Learning from history is therefore important in coping with modern-day challenges, be it surging nationalism or competition over resources. If you found this video informative, like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget. Let me know what's going through your mind in the comments section.